we are on top of each other.
Homeowner Lisa is desperate to sell.
It is time for us to go.
This house is like a catalogue of disappointment. It's just pattern overload. The kitty litter is in the bathroom. Ugh. Selling your property is all about flaunting your assets so potential buyers fall in love. Marketing, curb appeal, decor all play a part in how fast your property moves. My mission is to give unsellable properties a slick yet affordable makeover to turn them into unstoppable sellers. This adorable 3-bedroom cottage in the city is located on a big, gorgeous lot in a quiet and serene neighborhood. It has 1.5 stories, dining room, loft, and 1 bar. It's listed at $399,000. On the outside, it looks like a tiny jewel of a house, but homeowner Lisa hasn't had a single offer, and she is desperate to sell. So I'm here to help. Letter carrier Lisa has been raising her 2 kids in this cottage on her own. Her daughter Emma is training as a pastry chef, and Michael is finishing high school. Lisa's love affair with her home goes back to her childhood.
One time we were coming by and I just said to my friend on a lark, I go, oh, I love that cottage. I'm going to buy that one day. And then I ended up buying it.
10 years later, her quaint cottage isn't the dream house it once was. Now, 3 adults are crammed inside.
I think I'm feeling that we are on top of each other a little bit. The weekend comes along and the girlfriend's here and the boyfriend's here, and then that's when things get very busy.
Lisa's had enough, so she's gone ahead and bought another house.
We are to take possession in less than 2 months.
But her plan has backfired. She thought her cottage would sell within days, but after a month on the market, still no offers, and the thought of carrying 2 mortgages is terrifying.
I get overwhelmed sometimes. I start to panic a little, like, what if it doesn't sell? What am I gonna do?
With no plan B, she's got to sell.
It's time to go. It is time for us to go.
This high-end neighborhood overlooks the bluffs along the lake. The marina, the beach, the yacht club, all are big draws. We're only 20 minutes from the city centre, but it's like we're smack dab in the country. In an area where $1 million houses are snapped up in a week, Lisa's house should have sold. On the outside, it looks perfect, but Lisa, the homeowner, hasn't had a single bite, so I'm going to get inside and find out what's wrong. The porch beam is bent, and it looks like the lattice underneath the porch is missing. It's a little rustic, but hopefully the inside of the house will make up for it. Feels a bit pokey in here. That's because we've got a big black sofa, black chair, black fireplace. Dark furniture makes the room feel smaller. I'm not a fan of the window treatment. And what funny bits of material everywhere, kind of mismatched patterns. Off the living room, there are 2 small bedrooms, which are quaint and suit the cottage, with yet more of that strange fabric. This is supposed to be the dining room, but I know for a fact that 3 people are going to struggle to eat around that table, and buyers need somewhere to eat. It's just pattern overload. The dining room leads into a rather small kitchen.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
Now I feel like I'm in the country because it is very rustic in here. This is a blind for a window. What is it doing in here? That's completely crazy. The problem with this kitchen is there's no storage and it's grubby. Quite a lot of work. Oh my. The kitty litter is in the bathroom. Ugh, ugh.
This house is like a catalogue of disappointment. I was hoping that upstairs was going to be a romantic loft hideaway, and you get a student dig. Ooh, with quite a lot of water damage. That terrifies buyers.
And yet more fabric. Crikey, it's all over the place.
This room is definitely the worst room in the house. On the outside, this house is picture perfect. On the inside, it is anything but. You've got a shabby kitchen with hardly any cupboards, you've got a sitting room that's dark, and a loft that would give most people nightmares. And that is why this house is unsellable.
If Lisa is going to get a sale, she needs to hear some home truths.
Lisa, first off, this is such a cute cottage. The garden is really beautiful. And then you walk into this sitting room, and a leather sofa doesn't scream country cottage, it's more sort of downtown penthouse. And what we want to do is we want to create that country cottage look.
Okay.
Now, the dining room.
Yeah.
Do you actually eat in there?
Not often. Really, it's used as a place to get from the living room to the kitchen.
I think one of the most important things for a family is somewhere to eat, and buyers look for that. So we really need to re-establish it as a dining room instead of a not quite sure what this is room. Now, I love lofts. I was really hoping I'd go up there and it would be this like little hidey hole. And I walked into a student dig. So tell me about the room.
My son reached a certain age, 15, 14. I got the idea that he needed his own privacy, space, so we traded rooms.
Purely from a selling perspective, that needs to be the pièce de la résistance. So you draw people up into this lovely loft master bedroom. And there's a problem with the water damage.
Okay, honestly, when I moved here, it was like that. 5 years or so after I lived here, I then redid our roof.
Right.
So if there was any issues, there certainly isn't now.
Okay. The buyers have to know that, because at the moment they're going to walk in and go, there's water damage, and they're going to be totting up in their head how much this is going to cost them, and they're going to take it off the asking price. Now, Lisa, I have one more question for you.
Yes, Sophie.
Are you prepared to say goodbye to the scarf?
I think I'll live.
Then we can get started. Lisa's house is unique and it's on a great plot, but it's been languishing on the market for almost a month now, and she and her 2 kids need to move out fast. I just hope they're getting the support they need from their real estate agent, Candice, and she's going to be able to find the perfect buyer for this house. Candice, this is a pretty special property, isn't it?
It is.
Tell it to me straight. Why is this house not selling?
Well, you're in a unique area. There are a lot of million-dollar homes in this area. Having a cozy little cottage isn't really conducive to what the area is.
Have you had any feedback from buyers coming through the front door?
Yes, not liking the kitchen, the color of the kitchen, the lack of the cupboards.
Yeah. And is this information you've passed on to Lisa?
Yes.
Now, as a real estate agent, would you have suggested to her, don't buy until you've sold?
Yes, Lisa's bought a home. She got out there on her own without any guidance from real estate, bought herself a home while she still owned a home.
That is just a sleepless night situation.
And the market right now is telling us this isn't selling.
If we make the improvements, it's going to stand a chance in this market.
That's what we're counting on.
Improving Lisa's odds is what it's all about. So to show her what is selling in the neighbourhood, I'm taking her to a comparable house. They've got 2 asking price offers in only 1 day.
Come on in, Lisa.
Wow, this is gorgeous. Yeah.
Everything feels like it's tied in. There's not, you know, blue here, pattern there.
Yeah. Everything has a place.
It works well. Come on through. So, the $1,000,000 question, what is this room?
Oh, this is definitely the dining room.
There you go.
No question.
But the good thing about this room is when a family walks through the door, they can imagine themselves sitting here having family meals, and that's really, really important.
Very effective.
Think the lesson's been learned? Should we go on through? First impressions?
Immaculate, lots of prep area, storage, wow.
This is a perfect example of how to prepare your kitchen for sale. And I would be happy to eat my meals off the prep space, off the floor. This place is immaculate. 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Now, cast your mind back. What does the loft look like? What are you seeing?
A mess.
In a couple of days' time, you're going to be seeing something like this.
Oh, this room says comfort, for sure. The whole house looks amazing. And now I understand, you know, when someone walks in your house, it's important that they don't have to imagine, you know, where are we gonna eat or where are we gonna sit?
Exactly. Yeah. They got 2 asking price offers in one day.
Oh my gosh.
And sold the house in 2 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
To help Lisa sell fast, our contractor Anthony Sayers will handle the structural fixes.
Well, walking up to the front of the house, it's a great porch. I love the feel of it. What's up with the post, though?
Oh, it's decorative. I think I bought like the wrong one and it just ended up being faulty.
It looks really bad, and the first thing that we should do is change it.
Yeah. First impressions
Yeah.
really, really count.
Okay.
Yeah. Just coming down here in the living room, a great fireplace. I noticed there's a lot of smoke on the exterior of
Yes.
the brick. So what we'll do is paint the brickwork with a smoke and fire-resistant paint.
Okay.
Going upstairs, I noticed there's some water damage in the loft.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll cut out the drywall that's there, and then I'll spray like a stucco paint just to match up the 2
Oh,
ceilings.
look great.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the great thing is it doesn't sound like it's going to break the bank.
No. Minor changes, but they'll make a big impact.
Okay, great.
Fantastic. Well, I think we should get started then.
Yes.
Come on.
So it's out with the old and in with the new. I've enlisted Lisa and her gang to de-scarf, declutter and destroy.
Or should I just throw it downstairs?
Those clashing, outdated fabrics covered a multitude of sins.
Let's get the curtain out.
When selling your home, I always say remove at least 1/5 of your possessions so buyers can see what they're getting.
You've already attached the lattice.
Yeah, it just closes it off and makes it look nice and pretty much stops any critters trying to get underneath the deck.
Well, I think it looks much, much better.
We will paint it white just to match the rest of it. Okay.
And then you're gonna take this cosmetic pillar out, replace it with a new one.
Yes, it was bent, it didn't look good.
It looked a bit wonky, and curb appeal's so important. And I think especially if people are going to see a lot of houses, they sometimes just drive past and think, oh, that one doesn't look great from the outside,
Yeah.
and maybe just not even come inside.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I think it's going to look 100% improved.
With only the initial stages complete, Lisa has already turned a corner.
You know, now that I see what's going on, I'm just so excited about everything.
Ah, you're fixing the water damage. How's it going?
Well, I'm gonna just take this piece of drywall out altogether,
Right.
okay? Replace it with a new piece and just give it the same texture that the rest of the ceiling has.
So it's actually not too difficult.
No, it's not.
Brilliant, because I think having damage like this, people see buckling like this, they immediately think there's a problem.
Exactly.
What are you expecting to find under the plasterboard?
I'm hoping nothing.
Wrong. That's a whole lot of something, Anthony. Luckily, it's just the old insulation, which we can easily replace. To match the stucco, you may have to experiment with sponges and rollers to get just the right texture. Now that the loft is almost done, downstairs needs to catch up.
At the moment, the sitting room's a bit dark and pokey. I want it to feel brighter, give it more of a country cottage feel.
And Anthony's work on the fireplace will give us just that.
Once the brick has been cleaned, we're gonna use a special primer. The primer seals the smoke from penetrating through the pigment of the paint. Once the brick has dried, we can go ahead and do the finished coat of paint. Very important to get into all the little nooks and crannies. You just gotta make sure you cover the whole thing.
And there's no need to buy new furniture. A simple paint job does the trick and costs next to nothing.
Sitting in the sun, painting, it's actually very therapeutic. It is thirsty work, though. I could use a beer.
Lisa's wonky front porch won't be an eyesore any longer. The last thing you want is buyers suspicious that there may be structural problems. And this time, we'll make sure it's level. If we can keep this pace, Lisa's 2-mortgage nightmare may be over.
When I drove up, I just couldn't believe the difference in the house. It looked like a new house. You know, now that I see what's going on, I'm just so excited about everything. And to be only halfway done just tells me, like, wow, I'm really in for a surprise tomorrow.
Using MDF board, the dining room is an easy fix. We're making a bench in the corner to seat a family of 6. The window treatments are getting a much-needed upgrade as well. In the kitchen, gone is that hideous emerald green and replaced by a soft grey, giving this small room much more depth. And now that the kitchen has been prepped, Anthony's boys are on to stage 2 of the reno. Inexpensive kitchen cupboards with no fabric in sight.
New paint and new hardware. Works every time. Voila.
The reno is almost complete, and at this stage, just the right finishing touches make all the difference.
If you've got a wood-burning fire like this one, then stack some logs artistically in the grate because they look good, but they also smell great too. When you're selling your house, your kitchen should be clean and decluttered, but it's still nice to dress it up a bit and add some colour. And what could be better than edible props you can buy in your grocery store? Clean is key when you're selling your house. So if you've got a grimy old hob, nip down to the hardware store, get a new burner insert, new ring, and Bob's your uncle. Almost a new cooker.
In fact, Lisa's practically getting a brand new home. But will the buyers bite?
Lisa's house is unique, but she and her 2 kids need to move out fast.
Let's get the curtain out.
And what we want to do is create that country cottage look.
Now that I see what's going on, I'm just so excited about everything.
Our work here is done, and this cottage looks amazing. We've transformed it from a series of unfinished rooms with mismatched patterns and colours into a picturesque, harmonious country cottage in the city. It's got a lot of charm, and with this gorgeous garden, I think it really is an oasis of calm away from the hubbub of the city. The outside of Lisa's cottage promised a lovely country hideaway, but inside was a catalogue of disappointments. In the living room, the chunky leather sofa, the black chair, and the smoke-scarred fireplace had buyers heading for the hills. Now this room emanates fresh country cottage. The sofa has a lovely cream coverlet with complementary coloured pillows. We painted the fireplace a clean, crisp white and added a sprinkling of knickknacks. New wall hangings and upgraded window treatments complete the wow factor. The dining room setup confused buyers and was family unfriendly. We've changed the layout by building a banquette with an inexpensive paisley cushion. We've added a large country table, enhancing the flow of the space. Now this dining room is definitely a selling feature. We all know kitchens sell homes, and I really felt sorry for this one. So we painted the walls, updated the existing cupboard doors with new paint and hardware, and added essential cupboard space under the window. Buyers will now be able to see that this kitchen means business. No more sweaty socks. We've turned this loft into a teenage-free oasis of calm. We've repaired the damage to the ceiling and added soothing touches like a neutral colour on the walls, crisp designer linens and complementary window treatments. This bedroom now meets buyers' expectations of a master retreat. When selling your house, the interior needs to reflect the exterior. So at a total cost of just over $3,300, we've added value and uniformity throughout, maximised the space and transformed this cottage into a one-of-a-kind family home. If your house is unique, maximise it. It's probably its uniqueness that will help sell it. If it looks like a gorgeous cottage on the outside, make sure it looks like a gorgeous cottage on the inside, because buyers like it when they walk into a house that knows what it is. Curb appeal is so important. So if you've got a fabulous exterior, don't let it down with bent posts or missing lattice, because in the end, you've only got one chance to make a good first impression. Know your target market. If you've got a family house, it needs a family-sized dining room. Focus your house and the sale on the people who are most likely to buy it.
So is Lisa sold?
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I mean, in the kitchen, I was like blown away by the new cupboards, all the space to put everything. I always thought this was such a small room, but actually it's like totally feels huge now. My house has completely transformed into a dollhouse. It's perfect. I can't even believe that it's my house.
Now that the transformation from rustic shack to storybook cottage is complete, let the open house begin.
Come on in, guys.
I like the little seating area here.
Do you think this is big enough to accommodate yourselves?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, why don't you come on through to the kitchen?
Nice and clean, nice and bright. I like the baskets and the open shelves there.
Come on in.
This is a nice, cosy house, isn't it?
Do you feel that you're transported back to an English country cottage?
It does have that style, yes.
It does.
Oh.
It's an attractive bedroom, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yes. It's got a magic to it.
So what are your thoughts on the look of the cottage?
As soon as you see it down the street, you think, oh, that's a nice little house. And inside, it's got the same charm.
Sounds second viewing territory to me.
OK.
I think this house ticks all the boxes. It's got everything potential buyers are looking for, and it's been quite a lot of hard work.
After 5 long weeks on the market, Lisa's house is finally sellable. Her chances of getting the asking price of $399,000 are better than ever. And she no longer has nightmares about carrying 2 mortgages.
I mean, when I walked in the living room, I was like, whose house is this? Look at the cupboards. And my couch, it's cream. 6 people sitting in my little cottage for dinner. So I'm so excited, this is great.